So you've gone for jib, you're on your travels now, what hit you next?
Every time I deployed, unlike you, it was always east. It was always to the Indian Ocean. There was one deployment I went out to the Far East, which for the Aurora guys, we don't mention the name because they get upset. Orient Express, it was called. You and I, on the Charybdis, went to the Indian Ocean. And you're out there steaming around various places, and it's quite a hard graft. You're at sea for some long times. The Navy was always very good at putting you into a place for some R&R, and you could be there for a couple of 3 weeks, enough to either have folks fly out to meet you or go off. And therefore, my next one is Mombasa, Kenya. Anybody listening to this who's Navy, ex-Navy, and you yourself, Steve, if I said the Seaman's Mission, the casino, then probably some of the hotels, Diani.
Sunshine Bar.
Sunshine Bar, well, yeah. You'll know what I mean. And also those tusks.
Yes.
So a magical place, and if I'm correct, I think Mombasa's on an island in a river. So you anchor up in a river, and of course you get time off, and you would go, well, I did once or twice actually, went on to safari, went to Savo West, Kilimanjaro, fantastic. And it's quite a long drive to get there and back. Fascinating place, Kenya, very nice, friendly people. And the first time I went there, and this really set the course of history for me, it's because of the Falklands. We went out there in 82. Britain had committed to what was known as the Armilla Patrol, so they always had 2 ships on deployment in the Gulf or there and thereabouts. Well, of course, a lot of the ships went south to the Falklands. HMS Aurora, which was Ikara, which was anti-submarine, no need, so we went out to the Gulf, but we needed another ship, so New Zealand gifted us, first of all, the Canterbury, and then the Waikato, and we went to Mombasa with the Waikato, and they were literally next to us. Fantastic memory. You had to be careful. You wouldn't want to be on your own going through town. You always had to be with a couple of 3 others, but it was just a brilliant place, great memories. And that beach, because of the reef, fantastic.
I've got Kenya down as one of my top 3 places, and Mombasa. Go into Mombers and you'd get up on all of the various hotels and seedy joints and get out on trips. As you say, it was one of the great things that the Navy did for us, if you wanted to take advantage of it, is that they would have the ship's liaison officer who would have all of these pre-arranged venues that you could visit, pre-arranged trips that you could go on, you'd sign up and get out on them. So I did exactly the same as you, but I don't think I did it with you. I did it with Paul Kelsall and a couple of others, Dave Winchester and a couple of other lads. We went out to the Giardini Beach Hotel and we stayed up there. And from there we went out to the Tsavo National Park on safari. And then we stayed in the Mount Kilimanjaro Safari Lodge, which is the log cabins in the middle of everywhere. And again, I'm just wandering around these places thinking, man, I come from an old Roman town. And here I am in Africa, for goodness sake, this incredible continent. Wilbur Smith was some books that we'd read at the time, wouldn't it? Back in the day, the Courtney families and all of this sort of stuff. So Africa was the stuff off fiction. And now here I am in Africa. And not only am I in Africa, I'm on a safari in Africa, and I'm staying out at Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro, man. It was amazing. The African plains and the beautiful sunset as it comes down over the plain. Oh, beautiful place. And the Kenyan people, I found they were incredible. I did what you shouldn't do in Kenya. So I must have been, 17, maybe 18. I just went walkabout on my own. In the middle of flipping nowhere, down dusty old streets, getting dark, people just looking at you, say, skinny little white boy walking along the streets. And I went to a church because it was beautiful singing. And I was the only white face in amongst the sea of the congregation. And the preacher grabbed hold of me and pulled me out the front of the church. So he spoke to me in English. He says, where are you from? I said, oh, England. Bring us a word from the church. And I'm thinking, I haven't got a word from the church. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Great coastline, great beaches, brilliant memories from going away with the lads out on those trips, and yeah, fantastic time.